Hello Taurus, welcome back to my channel. I am Mariana. I will do the vibes inside for you today. I will start shuffling and we'll see what comes out for you. So I've been off the channel a little bit because I have had a rather persistent, I want to say, cold. Coughing and fever and dripping nose, things like that. It's and it has been, what I say, rather persistent. Like it's almost like a thing that didn't want to let go or didn't want to resolve itself. It has taken a long time and my voice has been very influenced by it, and therefore I didn't make the videos here on my channel. But I am recovering and much better, and therefore I think I can do this now. This time around I will have a focus on self-care initiative, something that could be relevant at this point in time for you, Taurus, if you find that the story I bring forth is relevant for your situation or the situation with someone you care about. Again, you can reverse the characters, or you can reverse the situation. Maybe you are the bystander who's looking in on this situation, right? We'll see what comes out here for you, Taurus. We are in Gemini season now, and I don't know why I get this feeling of like I've having bypassed something. We start with Aries season, then we have Taurus season, then we have Gemini. And I'm saying this because I have this feeling that it's almost like are you sitting with that feeling, Taurus, that you were bypassed? Like something skipped to Taurus, like going from Aries directly to Gemini, and the Taurus part it comes across almost like the first house, Aries, this talks about existence. This is being born, being the newborn, realizing you have a body, establishing the first primal attachment to caretakers. That's the first house. The second house, you are a bit older now. Now you are a toddler, right? You do stuff, you stumble, you hurt yourself perhaps, and you need care, you need guidance. You may also sometimes be told no, because this staircase is actually dangerous for you, right? You don't know that yet. The third house is about communication, speech, Gemini. It's about communicating with words, learning to use the tongue right, to form the words, communicate in any way, body language and words, learning the language, the native language where you live. But I get the feeling of it's almost like you have bypassed the second The second one is interesting because the toddler stage is very important in building your confidence in yourself and in your body and what your body can do, what you can do with your body, what you can jump and run, and you can learn how to walk, right? You can jump and run, and you can learn how to bike a little, like cycle on a little bike. You can, like a 3-4 year old can do some of this stuff. 2-3-4 year old, they can do some of this stuff. They have language as well, but that there's something about the second house is also about self-worth. It's about money. It's about you could say the feeling of being worth something. In the second house of evolution, I believe that we also have, for a little child, we have something like being acknowledged. Like I am worthy. People find me interesting, right? People find me adorable. People find me. It's the interaction you have with certain parents or certain caretakers, that they are mirroring to you who you are and how important you are. They are smiling too. They are cheering at you. They kiss you and hug you and all this stuff. But it's almost like, the reason why I say this, it's like it feels like it's kind of bypassed. That there's something about the second house that is either someone is bypassing you, like they are treating you in a way where they are not acknowledging your worth somehow. They are not acknowledging that you, or they did not acknowledge it, or you were not given the opportunity to have personal successes of, the toddler is walking, jumping, running, all this stuff. They have to be able to do that and become, crawling before you walk. And when you walk, you also learn running, right? And from running, you learn kicking something, a ball maybe, or you learn to sit on a little bike or something, right? You toss stuff. You're tossing a ball or something. It's you know that what you are doing in the world, if you tap a remote, it has an effect. There's this effect thing that when I do something, it has an effect, and then it's mirrored to me, whether it's good or bad, right? Whether I'm a success or I'm a failure. But it's almost like I have this feeling that it's kind of like I'm kind of, or you were bypassed. Maybe it's something like someone is driving by, like bypassing you on the highway, and you recognize that person. Or, but I have this feeling of like, that if this is you, Taurus, right? That something is going around. It could be something like someone was walking on eggshells around you, or you were the one walking on eggshells around someone, then actually going to them and talking to them, right? It's like going. It could also be that someone did talk for you, like someone we do that for children sometimes, right? We talk for them with other adults, right? As a parent, you can talk to a teacher, for instance, and you can say, but my child is like this and my child is like that, or sometimes he or she reacts in a certain way, but that's because such and such. You are speaking for them instead of you having to say something yourself. There's, like this feeling of going, it could be something about someone is, it can be anything. It could be something like, someone is hacking an account, right? Someone is bypassing something that normally should have been acknowledged by you, right? Let's say you are the accountant in some kind of firm, and normally it's your role to verify something. But in this case, it seems like something has been directed around you and away from you somehow. It could be some responsibilities are no longer yours to carry. It's now bypassed around to someone else or to something else. I get that kind of feeling, like it's I think that usually when something like this happens, as I just said with a parent, like a parent is speaking for the child if you believe that the child is not able to speak for itself. The child doesn't know enough about the world, therefore they can't speak in rational terms. Therefore the parent does, or the teacher does, or someone else as an adult around. but that would suggest that the adults are to be more responsible, right? Those in charge are more responsible, or has more power, or knows more, has more value. Then it could be that someone who is around here, that they are considered to have more value in what they say and do than you do. Like, so people would rather bypass you and talk to the doctor, right? They would not ask you and trust your word on it. They would go to the doctor and ask the doctor instead, or the teacher, or something like that. It's something seemed like bypassing, or like jumping over, ignoring, and then going to the next. It could be that could you be ignoring something? Like, let's say there is a 3-step process to something, or 5-step process to something, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you are ignoring the second one. You go right from 1 to 3, 4, 5. Like you are, or you are. So I have 7 chakra here, crown chakra coming out. I have the World card. I want to keep them for now. It's like this is later. It feels like later. I still want to hold on to this idea of the second house of value and learning how to walk. Learning how to, it's like a parent cannot walk for the child, right? The child has to make the steps themselves to be able to walk, have balance, and be able to learn to run, and so on. These are steps that the child has to take themselves. If they are not taking it, they are not mastering it. It's almost like there is a process to something where some steps are skipped in order to get somewhere faster, perhaps, or something like that. I'm not quite sure whether it's a good thing, but I want to say about mastery and in the earthly realm, and you are an earth sign, Taurus. In the earthly realm, and when we talk about mastery of earthly matters, it's like you need to get into it, right? You need to get your feet and your hands into it. Learning how to write with a pencil. The parent cannot write for the child. The child has to learn how to hold the pencil itself and learn how to form the letters. There is something to be learned from some kind of nitty-gritty step here, somehow. But it's almost like something or someone is skipping it, or choosing not to, or ignoring it, or you are watching someone doing that. That's what I feel like. Something like that. It could be, like it could be that you have received certain recommendations. So let's say to master this ability, you have to learn these 5 steps. You have to go through these 5 steps here. To, let's say, if you are in a recovery phase, you have to go through 5 certain steps to do that. You have to do this in order for the medication to work correctly. You have to do this and this for your body to recover from this, right? You have to participate in certain training, and when you do these particular exercises, you should be able to function better or something. But it feels a little bit like someone is then kind of just skipping a step. Something like that. There is something about skipping something in between. Like skipping something in between. Again, it could be that someone is ignoring you, right? That they are inviting everyone else in the family but you, like something like that. Let's see what comes out here. But that's what I feel like. And then when I look at these cards, it's quite significant that that the crown chakra talks about like clear cognizant. It's something it's like you know it. Maybe it's this feeling of like, like that there is this big party next month, or I know that my father or family somehow normally we have a summer celebration, but then it's almost like you know that something is different. That's the seventh chakra, the incoming, like claircognizant information, that you know something is different, or you know something is off somehow. And then we have the World card here. The World is the last card in tarot. This is the closing card. This is where it's like you have learned what you can from this, whatever lesson this is, and you're entering. The next card would be the Fool card. But these cards are not tarot cards, they are energy cards. They are more oracle cards than oracle energy cards, not tarot cards. But of course they have, you could say, a similar, they can have a similar message. What I get from this, though, is that we see he's standing here looking at the earth. Like being a bystander to something. Like he's looking at Earth, but he's not there, or he's not participating in the party, as I said, or being like this is something you are longing for, perhaps. But you are here, right? It's like being a bit of an outcast, or hindered somehow, in participating in whatever the world is offering. And it could be that now it's like you have this incoming feeling that I could be isolated somehow. Did something happen to you, Taurus? It's like, have you experienced something that now suddenly makes you feel like you are not part of the ordinary world anymore? That you are not, or you cannot be. I don't know, I get the feeling of that something may have happened to you, like again, this could be the feeling of being an outcast in your own family, that this is the family life, right? This is the world for you. This is your family, your parents, and what they are doing. But you stand here and look at it. You're not really in. It's like not being in the circle. Yeah, like being excluded from the circle of something here. Feeling that you should be there, right? But that's not what you feel like. It may be something that you somehow just know. Like it's a psychic or an intuitive feeling that you stand here and you're watching something, right? That you're this person here, right? You stand with this knowledge that I know that I don't belong here, or you're saying goodbye to something, or you're longing, right? You're longing to be part of something here, but you know that you're not, that you're no longer a part of that. Or that you it's like, I don't belong in that world, whatever this is. I don't know what characterizes this. I don't see this as Earth particularly. I see it as a situation, a situationship, a family situation, a family way. Maybe this talks about work, that this is your workplace, right? That and normally you were part of that, but now you're kind of looking at it from, it's like a child that looks from the window, right, and looks out in the courtyard where children are playing, but they cannot be part of it. for some reason. And I don't know if it has, because it comes in like an intuitive thing here, it feels a little bit to me like it has not been said, right? Maybe you have not voiced it. If you're the one leaving here, you haven't said it. It's something you're thinking about, right? And maybe it would be better to leave, or the other way around. You have this intuitive feeling that for some reason you cannot be part of this anymore, and maybe you don't know why. I don't know. I have a little feeling of an accident or something, health or. But again, the second house also talks about worth, self-worth, value, beings, like being you know, like the small children, they constantly want the mirroring effect from the parents. They are asking for it. Dad, look at me, look at what I can do, right? I can sit in this swing, right? I can play with this ball. I can do this, right? I can climb this chair, or I can look at me, right? They are looking for that attention, right? They're looking for the attention, wanting the mirroring, wanting to see how the parents react. Yeah, that's great, my boy, right? Keep going beautifully, and that's a beautiful drawing, or that's you know, like they're seeking this kind of validation, or if not validation, if they are out on thin ice, they would like to get like a guidance, right? That, oh, get away from that one. This is, now it's getting a little bit dangerous for you, right? Get away from the staircase, or oh, there are too many cars in the street. Go inside, right? The children are looking for the guidance as to whether something is good and safe, or something is unsafe and bad for them, perhaps. And somehow I get this feeling that this has not been, maybe you didn't get that. Like maybe this was not part of your upbringing. Again, it's like looking at the, it could be that someone here is your world. You know, like for a little child, the parents are their world. That you're looking at someone here who is your world, but they are not really looking back somehow. You know that you are on your own here, that you are not part of this, I hear, exclusive cycle. I don't know if that is, but it may feel like that, like something, something here feels like an exclusive cycle, and you are not quite part of it, feeling separate from it somehow. Yeah, feeling bypassed. I still have this word bypassed. I'm not quite sure why. When I look at this card, I also get the feeling of like being an alien, right? Like I'm watching something here, but I cannot be part of this maybe anymore. I get anymore also. I cannot be part of this anymore. It's almost like saying, this could talk about retirement, right? That you know that you're looking at this, and this has been your world, like this has been your life, right? You have done this all your life. Do you? This has to do with identity also, perhaps, right? That you realize what I have been working with all my life. I can no longer do that. Maybe I must no longer do it. I have a different view now of myself. I have all these downloads here, and they are telling me to say goodbye to something, perhaps here. It's time, or that that I must do something else. So it's almost like looking at this and, I don't know, saying goodbye to it and facing whatever feelings may come from that. It could be, again, that this is someone who you considered as your entire world. This was everything for you. You looked up to that person, perhaps. You admired them. But they are not really doing the same with you, right? Or that whatever investment you had in this, you are now looking at it, and you are really thinking about whether you should stay there or not. I still get this feeling like being bypassed, like nobody cared, or nobody looked, nobody gave me like a second of attention, or they walked right by me, right? You know, like I was standing there in the street, I recognized them from far away, and when they got closer, they walked right by me. Like I was nobody, you know? Like, maybe you have had that feeling, like someone, as I said, they were driving by you on the highway, and you kind of waved to them, and they just looked at you like they didn't know who you were, right? Or you walked by them, right, in the street, and you knew that they looked, that they had seen you, but they walked right by you without saying hello or anything, you know. Not giving you any kind of attention, or ignoring you totally, or something like that. Okay, let's have a look. So let's have a card. I feel like I have already said a lot here. Yeah, okay, I get a feeling of like an unrequited love situation or something here, because it is like someone is like your world here. And you're looking at them, but it's like they're not looking back. Or look at the color, right? It looks quite like moon, like dark night here. It could be like, you know, watching from afar, admiring someone from afar. But have you told them, right? Have you told them? Or if you really admire someone from afar here, you find them, this is your world. Have you told them? Do they know that? And if you are waiting for someone to say something to you, again, I really very much get that someone is looking at someone here from afar, maybe. It could be that you are admiring someone online, or you're not quite there with them, but they are in you. You are looking at them here. Someone is looking at someone here. And they seem like your entire world. This is important for you, right? It means a lot to you. You have your focus on it, but I don't know if this has focus on you. Not in the same way, at least. It could be that it's a very psychic thing, that the awareness you have about something or someone here is very psychic. Okay, so I'm going to turn the cards here for you so you can see what I get here. So I have indecision here, not knowing what to do. Perhaps about an Empress here. Someone here who could be your world, right? An Empress here. Empress, it can very much be Taurus energy. I have the purple color here for the crown chakra. So here we can say that it matches the this idea of the telepathic or psychic awareness about someone. It could be someone, the Empress here could be someone who is quite psychic, perhaps. It says here, time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded. Luxurious or abundant resources here. The Empress is like that, right? They have the opportunity to attract to her what she wants or what she needs. She's very desirable. This Empress, she is. And again, this is a major arcana. You cannot ignore the fact that this is a rather healed version of the feminine. She is very much in her feminine power here. It can be someone you're watching from afar here that you would like. Again, this looks very, if we look at this guy and then the earth here, it looks like it's rather important. It glows here. It could be the feeling of that this Empress is this one. The Empress can be a Taurus here. Maybe this is you, Taurus, right? That you are the Empress here. Someone is watching you from afar. Someone is interested in you, perhaps. It could be you, right? That you are the Empress here, and you are hoping for someone to look at you. Maybe you don't know what to do, or someone here doesn't know what to do. I have manifestia here. It could be that someone is trying to manifest you here. Maybe you have been trying to manifest someone into your life. That I'm just not sure whether they are coming. We have the Witness here. The Witness, I feel like, very much relates to the Empress here. I think that she is the Witness because she is very gifted here. She knows exactly what's going on here. And this can be you, right? You know that something is going on. you see this quite clearly. The witness is, well, of course it can be a witness in some kind of case, right? But in this situation with all this psychic awareness, I think that this is simply that they are, it could be the feeling that someone, yeah, that could be it also. It could be the feeling that someone is watching you. That right, that like someone is, it's like we can see her, but she's not that clear, right? It's like if I take it further away, it becomes more and more unclear to see her. It's like she's lurking a bit in the behind the veil or something. That could be interesting. Could this be a deceased loved one here? That you have the feeling that someone is watching you? Again, the psychic awareness, the feeling of someone who is watching from afar, or like a deceased loved one, something behind the veil, like the psychic veil. Someone who, again, the eye here, that it could be the feeling that someone is watching you. And when I look at this card, it also always reminds me a little bit about hallucinations, like all these wild colors and everything, like organic shapes and something. It for me it reminds me a little bit about like flower power time in the 70s, of all kinds of psychedelic drugs or something, right? But when I also think about that, I think about like wild dreams, right? Wild manifestations. Like this would be out of the world to have this. Like if I could manifest this, I would. That would be awesome, right? That would be this wild acid trip dream. Something that is out of this world feeling. And somehow the feeling of someone behind the veil, like I'm able to connect with something that could be out of my league, or behind the veil, like it could be like a deceased some loved one, or someone who is unreachable, or not, my league or something. It's like a dream that is like too big of a dream somehow to make it happen. But at the same time, I can't not look at them, or I can't not be fascinated by them, or I can't not be drawn in by it. Or what if it's this feeling of what if I could have a chance with this one? What if this dream magically somehow could come true? But the indecision card still tells me that maybe you don't know how to achieve it, right? You don't know how to become the Empress, perhaps, right? But the Empress card is not here out of order. I don't get the feeling that this is something you're hoping for. Someone feels like this. Like someone is this or feels like it. At least in your opinion. Or well, it could be that you are thinking about, what if I could be this one? Um, but it feels like it's so far away. Um, like an unreachable dream or something. Um, yeah, it's almost like there is this feeling of like that the Empress is this one, and the Witness here is here, right? And these could be the same person, but this is like the highest octave potential, and this is where you are now, like where you feel like a bit hidden behind it. It's like something that has not come. What's that called? You haven't grown it. You haven't developed it. Um, as I said, it's almost like it's bypassed. The potential of the Empress is bypassed somehow, or was bypassed. Maybe as a child, that you were not seen. This is how you were seen. Like a bit invisible or only half visible. Like you were part of the family, but you were not very yeah, like you are outside. You're partially there. This could be how others were looking at you, right? They were seeing you like this. This is how they regarded you. Like you were only almost like a shadow, or a invincible sort of uh, you were not like a strong, forceful Empress here. The Witness here is you, right? Then that would be the part of you that has always felt invisible, that has always felt like you were the outcast, or not seen, or not valued, or not given much attention, barely recognized, barely looked at. That is you. You're the Witness, right? You experienced this. You felt it. You experienced the longing, the maybe the codependency, right? The longing for something here. You're the witness of that. You are the one experiencing it. You're the one. This is the one carrying that feeling. And maybe you do have the potential here of becoming this great Empress, but you don't know how, right? You don't know how to grow this. That could be, how am I supposed to do that? And I would say you should listen to your intuition here, in whatever sense that makes. If it doesn't feel right, you should probably go in a different direction. When you don't know what to do about this, it could be that you are choosing to forget by doing something here. This can be anything: partying, drugging, gambling, smoking, psychedelics. It's this feeling of, I wanna have a better time, but I don't know how to do it. So I go by what I have and what kind of experience I've had. Let me get one more card on the manifest here, please. So I get 8 of Michael here. That would be 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a feeling of being a bit trapped in your mind, that your mind is spinning. That could also be what this is, that your mind is spinning in some kind of thought pattern that just, and in this case I would say it feels a little bit like an illusion, like you have, someone is so special in your eyes that you have put them on a pedestal. Then I would see that card as putting someone on a pedestal and seeing them as perfect, as being the perfect woman or man, and you can't seem to get out of that. You don't know how to get out of it, and you don't know how to get them into your life. It's like they are on your mind, but you can't get them out of your mind. Again, it could be this Empress here, that you have, that you're focused on either someone in your life who is, you feel, who you see like that. You see them like that. That is your dream woman or dream man, right? But actually, it's just a shadow version of yourself. That's why I say that this is the same person, that you have this ability in you as well to become like that. That's why you can't get them out of your mind. It's because they mirror to you who you are, yourself. 8 of Swords is like a self-imposed mental prison that you, it says here, you can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. Exactly, this is not seeing things clearly. It's for me, like a hallucination card. It's like being, you could say this could also being in love with someone. Totally rose-colored glasses. You can't see any flaw, anything with this person that is bad. They are the Empress in your eyes. They are perfect, right? Wondering if you could have them closer to you in your life, right? Feeling, or if having the, like a knowingness. I just know that this is my person. I just know that this is the one for me, right? I know this. This is my Empress. I know that. That is the clear cognizant thing. It's like a download, and it's like it's not debatable, actually. When it comes in, it's like it's so clear, right? Where here you are not seeing clearly. Here you're not, you don't know how not to think about this person. It's on a pedestal. It's totally rose-colored glasses. You can't seem to get rid of it. That is the 8 of Swords. It fills your thought from when you wake up till you go to bed. They are constantly on your mind. You don't know what to do about it, because it's, let's say, I don't know, maybe you met someone here. Maybe by accident you met someone, and now it's like they are in your mind constantly. If this card, let's say you're married, you don't know what to do, right? Because if you go this way, you stay true to your current partner. If you go this way, you go with the dream of something here. But something here is a witness to whatever is going on. This could be like an inner child thing, that someone here knows something, right? They know that this is a dream, that this is false, this is an illusion, right? You're keeping your hopes up about something here. You are in some kind of self-imposed prison here. again, sometimes we do this because the reality is too bad of an experience. Sometimes we keep this close, the illusion of something close. We would rather have this illusion in front of us, ahead of us, or a bit away from us, because not having it means that you're all alone, that there's nothing to focus on. You would rather have this focus than none, right? As long as, even if they are not in my life, even if they are not my partner, if I can just focus on them, I don't feel that alone. I don't feel so alone. Even if this is a deceased loved one, if I just think about them from time to time, it makes me feel less alone, even though I know they are not with me, or they are not laying beside me, or, it hurts less to have them in my life, even if it's at a distance, or even if they just bypass me. They never talk to me. They never give me any kind of attention. They never answered my messages or something. I just idealize someone here, or I never dared to speak to them. I don't know what to do with this crush or this feeling. Yeah, that's what I feel like. So this is somehow the situation. Someone has a huge crush on someone, I think. They're looking at them from afar. They are observing. Maybe, let's say this is someone who is observable, in the sense that maybe they have an online life somehow, and you're watching whatever they are doing there, or because it is available, right? You can see it because it's available on Facebook or Twitter or something. You're following something, or having a focus on something here, because it shines so brightly, right? It shines so brightly here. And you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do about it. You have put them on a high horse here. This is like being totally in love with them. Utterly and totally, and like you are hallucinating, like having an acid trip, ayahuasca, any kind of psychedelic trip, somehow, tripping. With all these romantic colors here, and you see how the face is emphasized in the middle, like you're dreaming about someone here. And it's like almost like you can't escape it, right? It's constantly on your mind. And someone is standing in the shadows, or a bit invisible in the background, looking at someone here, right? Again, the indecision and the witness here, like they don't really like. If you are in this more passive situation, you are the one who's not recognized. Let's say this is someone who is a star, right? Let's say this is a famous singer. Any famous singer here. And this is a fan. But it's just a fan in the cloud. In the crowd. Maybe in the cloud. I don't know. But in the crowd, right? Now, when I say that, in the cloud, it could be someone. Well, cloud. When I say that, I feel something like maybe they are on a fan list. Maybe they are on an email list. And this one is sometimes posting something, and they send it to hundreds, right? And this one is on that list somehow. It's that feeling of being this invisible, that I'm just one out of many. I can easily be bypassed, or skipped over. When this one is on the stage and looks on the audience, they don't see me, right? Because I stand there alongside with thousands of others. So I'm not special. This one doesn't feel special. This one is special. Maybe a big name, maybe a very successful big name. This one doesn't feel that. They feel more invisible here. So they are somehow invisible. They don't know how to change that, right? They don't know how can I make them see or make myself more. So I choose, instead of forgetting about this, I choose to hold on to it. But maybe it's not the best, right? That sometimes it still makes you feel like you are just this invisible one out of a thousands fans here. You don't know how to change the situation. You are still this no name. Again, look at how he stands with, or she stands with back turn. There's no face in this card. Maybe you have never even been introduced. Like seeing, let's say, Beyonce, or I don't know, some other kind of big name, right? And you just love the way they look. You love everything about them. They have a gorgeous body, Britney Spears, right? This is Britney Spears like. They have a career going. They are attractive. They are young. They are still. They produce something that you're watching here, perhaps, and you're one of these fans, right? So take it how it resonates. Maybe it's someone in your workplace, but they are accomplished somehow. It is an empress here. They're somehow, maybe it's a boss. Maybe you have a feminine female boss here who's very attractive, very knowledgeable, very kind also. The Empress embraces the element of all four queens. Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and Swords, Pentacles, Cups, Fire, Queen of Wands. So she has all four elements available, and she's adaptable. She has queen elements in all of them. So she has grown. She's a mature. This is a mature, responsible person. She's not reactive. She doesn't get angry just like that. She has tolerance and respect, and that is one of the things that makes her so desirable, right? That she knows her worth. Also, this one. She definitely knows her worth. She is. She will not tolerate any kind of bullying or any kind of manipulation. Like she's bully-proof in that way. She's not. She will not play that game, right? And as I said, that's exactly why you're so attracted to her. It's because you have this as well in you. But you never felt it, right? You always felt so invisible here. You never felt that you could be someone like that. That you could be that powerful and that seen. Also look at how these are different, right? That she's almost like a wallpaper, right? You don't really see her. But this one stands out. In the midst of the forest, she shines here, glows, and stands out. Like she can go on a scene, and perform something here. She could be an actress. She could be anything where she stands in the spotlight of something, right? Where this one is kind of hiding behind the scenes. So if you find yourself in a situation like this, where you feel that you are looking up to someone here, they are like an idol, I want to say. They have that potential of an empress here. This is like really top stage. The world, this is someone, they are the world to you. Um, Put on a pedestal, totally in love with them, like totally adoring someone here. But not knowing how to make yourself seen, how to somehow get their attention. Um, they are so powerful here, like they are majestic, I want to say. It's almost like, yeah, like they have a majestic feel to them here. That's how big they are, how successful, or how you see them, right? They have that kind of power that they kind of just burn through whatever they are doing. They burn through with their message or their image or their look or their voice. Maybe, as I said, maybe it's a singer, how they sing. They kind of just burn through with what they are doing. They are shining so brightly, right? This is like a shining star here. She is like a shining star here. That's how you see them. And that's why you admire them. That's why you're drawn to them here in the first place. So if this is you, Taurus, I want to say, what can be done? I feel like, first I want to say, it's so clearly that they're mirroring something to you. Or they're mirroring the shadow part of you, that this is actually part of you. But it's hidden. Right? If you have been this one all your life, I want to say you don't know how to be this one. Not yet. That's why you have indecision here. You don't know what to do about it. They're mirroring your potential to you. You are drawn to them because you are longing for that potential in you. It hasn't been awakened yet. It's dormant, perhaps, yeah. You long for it. You long for that greatness, perhaps, here. And being with someone like that would make you feel closer to that. But it's actually something that is in you. You have some of this in you. So, what could be a self-caring act at this point in time for Taurus, if you feel like you're kind of stuck in a situation like this? Because this can be very difficult to get out of, right? I feel like I want to shuffle here for this one. What could be a self-caring act for Taurus if they find themselves in this situation? You are an earth sign, and you are a feminine earth sign, right? And we talk about the earth as feminine. That if we talk about Mother Earth, right, Mother Gaia, like the beautiful feminine here is Gaia, right? And someone is looking at her here. So it could be that you are a cross watcher, that you are interested in a Taurus, and you're the one finding yourself being fantasizing here about someone who is a Taurus, right? But it could be the other way around. So just reverse the characters if that makes more sense. So I get the serpent. It comes up reversed like this. So it's like there is a serpent that crawls this way, And then there's a serpent that kind of crawls this way. I can't ignore the fact that I somehow feel a twin element here, a Gemini. Maybe there's something about the Gemini energy here. Gemini is the twin of the zodiac, but again, there's a mirroring thing going on here. It came out reversed. So let me just take the book here for you, and let's see what the serpent is about for you, or what it could talk about in this particular situation. It was reversed, so I'm going to read from the book, and then I'll tell you what I think here. So the essence of the serpent is the life force of Mother Earth. Yeah, again, there's something about the mother or the feminine. A woman, very important, strong, special woman here. Mother Earth, Mother Love, Mother. The Empress is usually a pregnant woman, giving soon to give birth to a child, right? So there's something about the motherhood, the mother, someone. Again, it could be a deceased mother here. Maybe the motherhood, motherliness. I want to say an empress here is what I would call as close as you can come to a divine feminine, meaning that she stands in her feminine power. She's not toxic, this one. She knows her worth, she knows her boundaries. She will not tolerate manipulation and all this stuff. She would be the mother we all hope to have, I want to say. That would be this one. Maybe that's why you're longing for her so much here, because she is actually very, is very, very fair and very nurturing, very good, caring. Again, as I said, she's not tolerating playing games or anything, right? She can be a warrior if she wants to. She has all 4 elements, so she can be anything. She can have a sharp tongue if you try to play games with her, right? But she will tell you. The serpent is the life force of Mother Earth. The coiled serpent of the Kundalini brings passion, healing, and renewal. She offers us the fruit of the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden, and reminds us to shed the past the way she shed her tired old skin. Serpent comes to offer you the forbidden fruit that will set your passion and creativity free. So the serpent power of the Kundalini is stirring within your chakras, gently asking you to embrace its mystery. Shed the old skin that you have been so attached to, and welcome the vulnerable pink underbelly that will bring you a fresh experience of your life. Your passion and sexuality are awakening, and this can be scary. Trust the wisdom of serpent to transform your sensual energy into beautiful original manifestation. When you shed the past gracefully, life will not strip it away with great drama, indeed. That is something you want to avoid. Do not use your energy to seduce others or allow yourself to be seduced even by your own ideas. I tend to, because this is reversed, I tend to go with the medicine here. So it says, when you shed the past gracefully, life will not strip it away with great drama. Indeed, that is something you want to avoid. Do not use your energy to seduce others or allow yourself to be seduced even by your own ideas. I want to go with that one because it's reversed here. So here I want to say, don't be seduced by your own ideas, even your own illusions or your own fantasy here. At the bottom of the deck here we have the giveaway. It's a bit like you should give it, you should try to release yourself from it, because it's what you are engaging in at this point is not a self-caring act. You're trying to numb something, and you're trying to you could say fill in a gap in your, or a void in your heart, but it's not real. It's not real. What I see from these cards, it's not real. Someone is put on a pedestal here. They shine very brightly. You're very, very attracted to them, I understand. But as how I see it is that they could bypass you on the street and they wouldn't give you any glance at all. That's how I see it. You are not a priority in their world, it seems like. Maybe you had that problem with your mother at one point. Maybe that's why someone is very attractive here. That they seem like they are the perfect mother for you, or they could give you motherly attention, but that's because you have an unhealed wound. This is where you need to do something else. Don't let yourself be seduced here by some kind of fantasy. A self-caring act would be that you become clear about this, and that you should probably see if you somehow can let it go. I feel like that would be very difficult to just let it go. There is a pull towards this person because they somehow seem to embrace, or they seem to have some kind of vibration that you get very attracted to. And the reason is because you probably felt very invisible at some point. And they seem very caring or giving or understanding. And that's nice, of course. But it doesn't mean that they will fulfill every dream of yours, especially if they're not even giving you any kind of attention here. But that would explain why you are drawn to them, why you've put them on a pedestal here. Maybe that was how your relationship was with your mother. That you could primarily look at them from afar, right? That they didn't really engage with you directly. Maybe they were literally not living with you. Maybe they lived somewhere else. Maybe they treated you, like you were invisible to them. Maybe you were literally not in the home. Maybe you were positioned somewhere else. I don't know, maybe you grew up with relatives, but you were not with your mother, your real mother. Somehow, I don't know, maybe the mother is a deceased mother, right? And you're looking towards them, or you feel their presence somehow. You would love to have them near you. A motherly, affectionate, caring, nurturing experience. And the reason why someone is very attractive here is because they represent what you didn't get. but it's an illusion. It's well, maybe this person does have some of these features, but they are their own person, right? They are looking for an emperor here. That would be the match to the empress. They are not looking for a child to nurture and care for. They are looking for a match to the empress here is what we would call a divine masculine, right? That would be a healed masculine energy. And she would recognize that if someone would stand in their masculine power in front of her, in divine masculine power, she would recognize that one. She's not looking for someone to take care of, right? She's looking for a partner who is who knows his masculinity and has healed himself from whatever trauma he may have. Like she's not looking for someone who has a mother wound. Right? That's not what she's looking for. That would not be a match to her here. And that's probably why she's not looking. She's not looking at you because her orientation and frequency is somewhere else. And as I said, she could be successful, like a high achiever here. She could be very successful. Maybe she has many fans, is very adored. You know, like she's famous maybe here. If that's the case, it doesn't have to be famous, right? But if that's the case, she has many suitors perhaps here. And she's not looking, if you are someone who is somewhat passive or invisible here in the crowd, she's not looking at you if you're not standing out somehow to her. The best thing I really feel like is to somehow give this up. Let it go. Acknowledge why it was present in your life. Acknowledge why it was present. It's because the way they're acting here, the way they are talking, the way they do stuff, how they look and everything, it's something you always wanted from a mother, perhaps. But because you didn't get it, it has now become a wound. And left you feeling very invisible here. You experienced this. Again, the witness has experienced this, felt it, breathed it, seen it every day, felt the absence, felt the distance, felt the longing. That's the witness here. That would be your inner child or similar. That it's a part of you that feels so neglected here. And because of that, it has to make some kind of, you would say, solution to it. In your mind, you make a solution to it. But the solution is a dream, it's a fantasy, it's not real, or an illusion. What could help, if this is very difficult for Taurus, to not let themselves be seduced by their own thoughts here. If this has really overpowered Taurus in their thoughts and minds, what could be the first thing to do to maybe take some of your thoughts away from whoever this is? So I get first chakra. The first chakra, as I just talked about in the beginning, the first chakra is the newborn. So this is about attachment styles. This is about root issues. The most significant traumas we hold in the root chakra. So this is at the end of the spine. In the area down here, it corresponds with the red color. We have the red cloak here for someone standing in indecision and not knowing what to do. Archangel Michael, so here we could talk about cutting some ties to something that is really not serving you. That is one of the first things you could do. Becoming aware of whoever these people or this person is in your life, and learning about what the root chakra is, and how it can manifest in your life if you have some existential trauma here. This is like primal attachment style when we are born and we need to attach to someone, the mother usually. If that contact was not good and you were not given the right attention and care, you could have a trauma in this area. But it could be subconsciously hidden, as I said, that it's in your psyche here, but maybe you have no real awareness about it. You don't remember it. It's that early on, you don't remember. You were that little. And there can be like fears here and anxiety and maybe grief, sadness, that is some of the core issues why you stayed some kind of invisible here. You never stepped into like your full Empress awareness and power, Taurus, right? Because there's something hindered you in that. Something did change. Something changed your options of being able to show the world who you truly are here. And what sometimes happens is that we get attracted to people who have that energy, right? So that it kind of feels like we are closer to that part of ourselves. So the guidance of self-initiative here, even though it can be difficult, is actually to look at I want to say maybe your mother attachment. How was your contact to your mother? Have you always felt like you longed for that there was a distance, that you couldn't get close to her, that she was somehow distancing herself emotionally, mentally, maybe also physically, like this is distancing herself from you, not letting you in, not showing you like motherly affection and hugs and care and smile and all this stuff I talked about in the beginning, gave you the self-worth to show the world who you are, appreciated you, right? Appreciated the things about you that makes you, or at least that gives you the potential of being the Empress here. Like not appreciating or not valuing or not supporting or not guiding, in a loving, caring manner. I believe that many carry some of these wounds, most of us do, that we don't quite get the attention that we are looking for. It's not perfect. But in this case, it feels more. It feels like it has been like neglectful abusive maybe even. Like to keep a child at an arm's distance, mentally, physically, emotionally, that can be quite destructive for a child. Right, so there could be this feeling, I don't know how to show up in the world, I don't know how to be me. As I said, it's like the Taurus, the second house was bypassed. So there's only this like slight feeling of something that has to do with you, right? That has to do with the Taurus in you. Again, if you are a Taurus sun, the Taurus in you could be very almost hidden or forgotten. And what you are doing is probably acting out of your rising sign. Because the rising sign is usually the mask we learn to put on. The rising sign represents the mask we learn to put on during our life, our upbringing. And the mask represents what was wanted and what was desired and what was needed. So let's say you have a I don't know, let's say you have a Libra rising. No, that's not a good example actually, but let's say you have a Sagittarius rising. Sagittarius is a masculine fire sign. So it means that how you would show up would be the Taurus version of you would almost be invisible, and you would show up with more fire and more masculinity, and not so much the feminine Empress energy, right? So the Taurus thing in you is almost invisible. Like it's so little. There is so little of this that you dare to show the world, right? It's hidden. It's inexperienced, it's immature, it's unhandled. You haven't been mirrored anything about this energy here that potentially could build into this. So this may feel so new, like it's almost a part of you you don't recognize. It has been so hidden. You don't really know what to do about that energy, perhaps. Right, so that could be part of the like getting closer and closer to, you would say, the feeling of being cared for as a child, like getting yourself closer and closer to what that means. What does it mean if a mother would be a loving, caring, good, attentive mother? What kind of care would she have given to you? How would she have appreciated you? How would she have smiled at you and encouraged you to just go out there and be you, right? And just show the world who you are. Go out and jump. Go out and bicycle, right? Go out and experience the world. Get some experiences. And if you fall, I will put on a little bandage, right? And I will kiss your knee and we will sit and hug for an hour until you feel better, right? If you had a mother like that, what would that be like? Someone who would support you in your schoolwork and support you in your soccer game or whatever, ideas you had, whatever creative ideas you had, because you are a feminine earth sign here. Whatever creative creativity you may have had, she would have supported that and allowed you to experiment with it, right? And encourage you to do so, to sing, to dance, to write, paint, to play some kind of instrument, perhaps, right? You know, that would be a mother who would encourage you to do that. Maybe she would even sing with you loudly, dance through the living room, right? Expressing herself totally freely, and that would have been a role model for you to also know how to do that. But because that didn't happen, it has felt like it was not at your reach somehow. That potential is always out there, in front of you, not with you. Or at least that could be the feeling of it. So there is something about not becoming too lured in by your hopes or wishes here about someone outside of yourself. Of course, you can do that. Well, you can do it. I'm not saying you must not or you shouldn't. I'm saying what what the cards are suggesting here. The cards are suggesting that there could be a strong sexual pull also towards this person. There could be a feeling of like longing, or that there's distance, that they are not with you, you're not connected, that there is an absence or a disconnect. But and I'm not saying it could be someone with Gemini maybe in their chart. It could be someone you feel a very, very strong connection with here. Like a strong soulmate or a twin flame, if you believe in that stuff. The point is that the reason why that there's this pull feeling is because they are mirroring to you like a shadow element of yourself. And sometimes that shadow element is, maybe this is a very sexy one, right? Maybe this is very sexy, outgoing. You know, like the clothes and everything. It may be very sexy, very flirtatious. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe they are. And look at this one, who stands behind the veil here, hiding, not knowing how to show themselves. Maybe not knowing how to be feminine, right? Not feeling at all familiar with that. This whole idea of being feminine and, you know, like showing cleavage or owning the femininity and feeling comfortable in it. This would be someone who doesn't feel comfortable in it, right? They would rather hide it, hide that femininity, or hide the feminine body or something like that. It feels very uncomfortable or unfamiliar. But therefore, but still longing for it, right? Still longing to have that connection somehow. That maybe you would like to be, you would, it that something is luring in you, right? You feel that something is pulling at you here, that you should experiment with something, or you should get to know more about your sexuality maybe here, right? But it feels unfamiliar, and maybe you don't quite trust it. It feels somehow far away, or that it's not something you have been yeah, introduced to, but at the same time you're drawn towards it, right? And again, the root chakra here, well, the root is at the base of the spine. Here we have the genitalia, right? We have the sexual organs here as well, right? So we can't ignore the fact that there could be sexuality here as well, and sensuality, and the primal attachment style that may have been kind of disrupted or something, right? That there's something off about this. Yeah, that's what I feel like. And somehow I just get the feeling of just like get to know some of these, just slowly, like just take your time with this. Um, the serpent, well, in the Bible we would say that the serpent would be this trickster, right? The trickster that could seduce you or manipulate you or something. That tries to get you tricked into some kind of trap. I want to say it can be a trap over here, that you somehow almost manipulate yourself into something here. But and I would put awareness on that. But otherwise, I don't personally see the serpent necessarily as a bad creature. It just is, like it exists, and um, like anything, you just need to know it, right? Like you need to know that a beautiful rose can have thorns, right? It's like, there's up and downs to everything. If you go with this, there can be maybe something to be experienced here, but there can also be something maybe not so good experienced here. Um, you just need to know that, right? Can I have just one more card, please? I just feel like what what the root chakra somehow is blocking. What the root chakra is blocking. I get full spectrum here. It means that, full spectrum means that you can have a feeling of being like a whole person, where you have integrated your shadow part of yourself. And it's, and I was wondering, because the seventh chakra and the crown chakra, they are like opposites. That would be the root, or sorry, the first chakra, the first chakra here, and the seventh chakra here. They are like the outer polarities of, you would say, the seven big chakras, in the body. So they are like the outer parts of, the outskirts of the chakras, you could say. They are so far, they are the farthest away from each other, and both of them are present here. And you see here, it's like the World card could also be the feeling of like, if I could just get here, it would be the feeling of coming home, right? It would be the feeling that then I am connected with everything I need. And that experience would come if you have unblocked all chakras and the Kundalini energy is moving freely. That would give you a feeling of wholeness, the full spectrum experience. That would be the feeling of being connected, like you have integrated any aspect of you that may have been in the shadow, so that you can stand in your the full version of you, the fullest version of you. And you have activated the earth chakra beneath you and the what is that called? Star something star chakra up here. I can't recall what it's called. But that would be again, and we see here how we have the skulls here. That would be ancestry. That again we have connection with like the full element of who you are and where you come from. It could be that we talk about we have cleared ancestral karma also, and you have come full spectrum of your current life lessons in this lifetime. But it all begins here with the first chakra. At least if you have a blocked first chakra. I believe most of us have something here. To a more or lesser degree, of course. Yeah, this is what I have. I hope this helps somehow. Take care of yourself, Taurus. Try to implement maybe some self-caring acts here, because this is like, if this is, I see this as an illusion, right? And that would, in my term, not be a self-caring act. To stay with this, to keep this alive, would not be a self-caring act. It keeps you stuck in something, procrastinating in something, locked or stuck or tied to something here that seems to bypass you and ignore you, that would not be what you're looking for. So this is what I have. I hope this helped. Take care of yourself. Love and light. Bye-bye.